Testing, testing. One, two, three, testing. Okay, perfect. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. It is B with the B code, and welcome back to my channel. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers, those who watch my videos. Please feel free to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down, leave your comment in the comment section. Um, well, I guess let's do it like this. All right, I love my little intro, so I just had to do that. Anyhow, so Anton bullshit. Being a happy wife to your husband and why Americans don't feel like Americans. So Anton is pretty much Anton, what is it, the millionaire show? Let me make sure I got that right. Let me make sure. No, this is on Anton Daniels. So not the millionaire show, just Anton Daniels. So, I'll be watching him because I like Anton. I think he's a very cool cat, smart, intelligent, even though he claims to be a C student. I see distinguished gentleman in him. I just wanted to give him that shout out and compliment right there. Um, and as always, Queen Rita. Um, so I was listening to one of Anton's lives the other day, and I left a comment. I just wanted to say this really quick. I left a comment under one of his videos that said, uh, "Look at all these beautiful black women with some damn sense." And do you not know some Joe Donut head black guy going right under my comment talking about where? Now, it behooves me when a black man who came out of a black vagina does not feel that black women are beautiful, right? There's a disconnect there. There's a screw loose. There's some jumbled up wires in the brain. And these same young ladies that I was talking about that are beautiful are on this little clip that Anton posted. And what I want to do really quick is I'm going to show it, but what I want to say really quick is the thing about black women is that we all have our own individual beauty. I mean, we're so different but alike in so many ways. I mean, me personally, um, as a woman looking at another woman, I always like to give women their props. Doesn't matter what race they are. But, I like to stick to black women because that's what I am. And, I don't pretty much don't know a whole lot about other races and their beauty standards and different things of that nature. I just know what our beauty standards are. So, as I'm looking at each one of these black women as an individual, I see the beauty in each one of them, and it is different, right? Now, they don't have to be tens for me. They don't have to be fives. I don't number people. I look at their conversation. Oh, hi, Black Anonymous. Where you been? Where the heck have you been? Good to see you. I look at their individual beauty. I look at their level of intelligence. I look at the time they take, to discuss black issues and be up on the times and just really take the time to pour into black people and give their commentary, and they make some sense. You've been busy. You must have been hecka busy because I have not seen you in like 16 years. Okay, sir. I've not seen you in 16 years. You're gonna have to get it together because I do a live every now and again. You know, I'm not consistent with my lives. So I just get on here when I feel triggered or I wanna talk about something or okay. So right. So anyway, I was, be out here in these YouTube streets and I'll be out here in these Facebook streets. So that was one thing one point that I wanted to bring up about Anton. I'm gonna show that video that I saw and I will come back to that. But then being a happy wife to your husband. So I was on Facebook, or was it Facebook? Yeah, it was Facebook. It was Facebook. Yeah, it was Facebook. And the young lady, she was expressing how, expressing her marriage and then, talking about her husband and different things of that nature. And I just wanted to give my commentary on that because when you commit yourself to be a wife, either you're going to commit yourself to be a wife or you're going to 86 it, you're going to leave it alone. But you're not going to wait till forever to do it. No, I'm not talking about the manosphere. I don't know. Is Anton a part of the manosphere? I'm just, I don't know. I like his content. I like Anton. But anyway, she was just really expressing how some things and issues that was going on in her marriage. And I just wanted to, give my commentary on that. Then I saw another video on Facebook and how this woman, she was just in total turmoil about having to work so many jobs and feeling like, you know, she just can't pull it together. So I wanted to maybe see if I can give some enlightening on that pretty much to everybody because there's times where I don't feel like an American and I'm going to explain exactly what I'm talking about when I say don't feel like an American. Um because there's just the American way that is supposed to be going on, but it's not. So anyway, without giving too much details until I really dig into it, um, I just wanted to, give you a little, what I don't know, little tidbit on what the discussion is going to be regarding that. So anyway, um, no, I'm not. I'm I'm gonna show you in a minute. I'm gonna put this video on that this clip that Anton posted. It had to do with who is this Cam Newton. I was gonna do no, I'm not even gonna lie. No, and it's not. I'm not gonna lie, but I watched the interview with him and Dr. Bryant, and I really didn't have a whole lot to say because she basically said everything in a nutshell. And I tended to agree with her. Now I feel like she was maybe when she did the interview with Nick Cannon, I felt she was a little bit overbearing, because he's sitting there, he's telling you who he is, and she's trying to tell him basically that that's not who he should be and that that's not what's really going on. But he is actually telling her, listen, I will put on a clown suit. You know what I'm saying? If I see some nice looking women at a carnival, I'm gonna put on a clown suit and I'm gonna, get what I want. If I see some women at the library, I'm gonna put on some educated looking glasses and get a book in my hand so I can get what I want. So he's basically was telling her that, hey, listen, I'm bringing my representative at each instance. I can be whoever abroad wants me to be until I get what I want. And he's basically telling her that, and she's going off into something else. But anyway, I might I might take a look at that. But anyway, here we go. I'm gonna um I didn't even know who Cam Newton was until he did this video with I don't know, until they did that. I don't know. I was on in Facebook, YouTube streets, and I just saw it. And I just listened to it. It seemed to be pretty popular, so I listened to it, and it was okay. But she was on point with what she said to him. But anyway, here we go. We're gonna take a listen to it, and I'm gonna just give my commentary. So anyway, first, let me start off by saying that these are the beautiful women that I'm talking about.
Okay. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. Being very action based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women. Yes. You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life, and these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit without Daddy being there.
Okay, and let me say let me say this. The reason I said Anton bullshit, because this is the first time I have watched one of Anton's lives or videos or clips or whatever, and I felt like he no, no. Like I felt like he's caping for Cam Newton, or he's not wanting to ruffle any feathers. I just don't feel like he was being real. I felt like with the things that he was saying, he was trying to convince himself of what he was saying. He didn't even believe what he was saying, and he knows it. He knows very much. He didn't even believe what he was saying. Um, right.
But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. To say that I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so you're compartmentalizing, and compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved.
Okay, you see all these beautiful black women? Look at her. She's gorgeous. Look at her. She got her own style. She's beautiful. Look at her. Her features are just, I mean, I know, honey, when girlfriend lay it on, she lay it on thick. I know she it looks beautiful. Look at her. We got her. This the girl next door. The girl next door with her natural hair. Little necklace on, little daddy's girl necklace on, no makeup. Just looking as innocent as ever. And then even I wear braids. I love my braids. I've always wanted to do my braids this color. But even her features, she's beautiful. Just look at it. Look at her skin tone. How nice it is. Right? Um this one right here, she looks like a cousin of mine. Just beautiful. Just they're all beautiful in their own right. And I just said, look at these beautiful ladies, and they all had something important to say, and something important that was coming out of their mouths. And then so Joe Donut here gonna say, where? Right there, silly. You came out of a black vagina. Look at your mom. Is your mom beautiful? Are your sisters beautiful, if you have any sisters? Are your aunties beautiful? Was your grandma beautiful? I mean, what in a black man's eyes, what is a black man's standards of beauty? Is it his woman, or is it a woman of another race? For the life of me, I can't understand how black men are the only ones who fix their lips to call the women that they came out of ugly. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know, maybe like I said, screws loose, wires mixed up. You know what I'm saying? Missing some connections or in different things of that nature. But I think it's just really, really disgusting how black men don't see the beauty in their own women when y'all created us women, or y'all helped to create us women. All of these women have features, I'm sure, resembling of their fathers. So if you're calling these women ugly, you're basically saying that black men are ugly too, because black men are the ones who created them. Black men are the ones who determine the sex. Black men are the ones who bred these black women. So if black women are ugly, like I have said before, that means black men are ugly too. But anyway, let's continue. So, like I said, Anton didn't even believe what he was saying. Just watch.
Hey,
Part I saw, and that's the part I agree
now
with.
that I agree with.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree
see
with
how
her.
anybody can disagree with that. I don't see how anybody can disagree with what she's saying.
Nobody.
If you're if you're disagreeing with what she's saying, you just are just gun ho on being biased against women. That's it. Because
Y'all,
she
that wait,
spoke.
wait. That's y'all standard. Like that's y'all supporting the argument for why y'all like what she said.
What do you disagree with what she said, Anton? What did you disagree with?
I think that it's extra context. It's not that I disagree with her. I just think that it's more context to be made. When you're talking about a Cam Newton, it's a completely different conversation than talking about a regular everyday person.
Now, see, this is one of the spaces where I call bullshit. What do you mean a Cam Newton? Who the fuck is a Cam Newton? Is a Cam Newton better than any other father out here, or is a Cam Newton any different than a man out here creating multiple broken homes? Is there a difference? Money does not make a difference. Just because Cam Newton has money, it doesn't make a difference. He's still running around creating broken homes. And not only is he running around creating broken homes, he has plans in the future to continue to create broken homes. As that's what came out of his mouth. So therefore, yes, he is being selfish. And let's continue before I give too much before Anton has to say what he has to say.
How?
Cam was
He's a father.
Cam is using himself as an example. Okay, he was saying
That is a poor example. That is a poor example to show or to give to black men coming behind him, thinking about having children and the context that he's giving having the children in. He's telling black men coming behind him and black men even on the same in the same generation as him that it is okay to go around and make broken homes and then aspire in the future to create more broken homes just because he got a few dollars. Really?
that he wants more children, so on and so forth, whatever.
Out of
Right?
wedlock, which you're against.
Correct. Okay. That don't matter what I'm against or not. You're not even listening to what I'm saying yet. What I'm saying is the standard for a person like Cam Newton, who has the resources.
No, 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 no. The same standard applies to all men, whether they are rich, middle class, or poor. You do not go around creating broken homes. But this seems to be what men think is okay to do. I mean, there are plenty of men who said, okay, hey, I got this couple kids by this one woman, or I even got one kid by this one woman, but I will not create more kids until I find a wife. And if I never find a wife, I will not create more kids. I will just focus on and raise the one that I have. That is an unselfish man. Usually what a man will do is if the first relationship doesn't work, he has a kid with that relationship, his second relationship, he should usually get married and then integrate his first child into the marriage so that the child does not feel left out. But what this man is talking about, he is talking about how he got 8 kids by 3 different baby mamas, and he intends on making more kids with some other women, creating some more broken homes, all because he got some money. Well, we all know that money, yes, is a resource that you need to raise kids, but we all know that money cannot itself raise your kids. There are plenty of rich kids out there who are screwed up in the head, who did not have a good childhood, even though the parents had money. Kids at their young, tender ages, they really don't recognize the benefits of money until they become teenagers. Now, if you have a 5-year old talking about, I want Xbox or whatever the heck it is they playing with nowadays, I don't know because I don't buy that stuff. Or they want some Air Jordans, or they want the most expensive shoes, or they, at 5 years old, that means you are improperly raising your child. You have created a materialistic monster, or a materialistic child that will grow up to be a materialistic monster. At 5 years old, all children want is their mom, their dad, some ice cream and cake, and some hugs and kisses, and to be validated and emotionally and physically supported. They don't know what $1 million is. They don't know what a mansion is. They want their little car bed, their little car cover. They want cartoons. They have no sense of, at 5 years old, we're rich. And if they do, that's a problem. Okay? So, money does not guarantee that you are going to raise a competent, fully functioning adult in society. I just want to put that out there.
Which you don't know whether or not he's present in those kids' lives whatsoever, and you don't know
Well, he can be okay. No, let me just go ahead and finish.
the dynamic by which, and I'm not saying that I believe in what he's saying, but I'm saying that the standards is different, and the success rate, which is probably just
Now listen, I want y'all to listen to Anton. He has never done so much pausing and stuttering. When have you ever known him to just really pause and stutter to get things out of his mouth, to really put things together in his mind? Shit flows out of Anton's mouth like, it's second nature. But here you can tell he is just really trying to put some shit together to convince the panel of what he's saying, and also convince himself. He don't even sound like he believes what he's saying. There's no way. There's no way. How he talks about how, you know, he only has the kid with Rita, and Rita is his only wife, and they've been together so many years, and how he, revels in his daughter's presence and his wife's presence. There is no way that he believes that having 8 kids with 3 baby mamas is conducive to raising some mentally healthy children. Uh-uh. Miss me. And I don't know who he think he's convincing, but he's not convincing me.
as good, if not greater, for a child that is raised with his level of resources and his level of access than a regular everyday person.
His level of resources and level of access to what? To what? Like what are your plans for all these children with your resources? I mean, it's who matter of fact, who is Cam Newton? I don't even know who let me see. Cam Newton. Who is Cam Newton? Oh, he's a football player? Mm. And he's a football player. Who does he? Mm-mm. Okay, so he done played for a few teams. He done his little thing. Okay, I see you. But nope, not at all. Oh, he's a retired NFL. I didn't know. But raising kids is, you're right. Raising kids is not just about money. And then think about it this way. While we're sitting here and we're just focused on the children, what about the women's lives that he's basically destroying? Like, what are they supposed to do with this broken home that they have, right? You got three different baby mamas. You got 8 kids. What kind of life are the women supposed to have? Right? What kind of life are the women is supposed to have? So anyway, let's continue. But Anton, he don't even believe the shit that's coming out of his mouth.
Just populating the earth and can't take care of their kids because it has always been a standard since the beginning of time. This
What happened?
whole men and young guys' lives and participating in their lives every day, that is the success rate, which is probably just as good, if not greater, for a child that is raised with his level of resources and his level of access than a regular everyday person that's just populating the earth and can't take care of their kids. Because it has always been a standard since the beginning of time. This whole men and young guys' lives and participating in their lives every day, that is a relatively new thing. That is a newer thing in life today. Men used to even go off and work. They used to go off and work, and a lot of times, even when you talk about guys in the 50s and the 60s, as recently as in the 70s, they would go off and go and find jobs in the north and then send back after a year or two for the wife with the children to come back up and then join them. They were not always in these kids' lives. lives the way that y'all saying that they are. The example that the man provided was often at times enough in order for them to be able to raise and put those kids in a great position, which the wife was supposed to be an extension of the husband. So what y'all talking about as far as all of this participating in these kids' lives in the way that y'all trying to frame it has not been a standard. That is a relatively newer thing in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. That has not been a standard. For the longest amount of time. So when we talking about resources and we talking about provision, and again, I'm not saying that Cam Newton is doing the thing that he's supposed to do in every capacity, right? Because I don't necessarily agree with having children out of wedlock. But my point is that you can't compare a Cam Newton to a regular everyday guy and say say it's supposed to be a 1-for-1. You can't use that. It doesn't apply.
Why not? A father is a father. A
It's
father is a
not
father,
the
babe.
same.
No, 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 no.
It's not
But
the same.
hear me out. Hear me out. Aren't you a 1%er like Cam Newton? Don't you got a lot
I
of
am.
money?
I make a lot of
And
money.
you
I
can
make a
never,
whole lot of
and I
money.
don't think you could ever, I don't think you could ever go a day without seeing your child and being in
What
their
do you
life.
mean?
Now you're
I
making,
do go. I
here's the
do
thing.
go days without seeing my. My child. I do
But
be
you're
out of town.
involved, but you're involved. You're in the same household, sweetie. It's different when you're going off to work as opposed to not being married to the mother of the child, not in the house every day and every morning. This man has 8 children spread out over 3 different households. Everybody is not getting the full daddy experience like some children are, some children aren't. And so all we're saying is, yeah, it doesn't matter whether you are a high earning man or a regular guy, you're a father at the end of the
It
day.
does matter.
And
It
there is a
absolutely matters.
standard. there should be a standard that should be withheld, regardless if you are a father that makes average money or Cam Newton money. You should be procreating properly to give that child the best experience, as you
It
say in
is
your own words.
absolutely a massive difference.
As
It
you
is a
say in your
massive
own
difference.
words, you say in your own words, Anton, that the best outcome for a child is to have both biological parents
I
within that
agree.
household. Now you're saying that there's an
I don't apply
exception.
my
Now,
circumstance to Cam
right?
Newton. I'm
It's not your
separating what it
circumstance,
is that I
but
got.
what I'm
Listen,
saying
listen.
is,
You keep trying to use me as an example. My
no,
whole
I'm not
point this
using you.
whole
What
night,
I'm using your words and what you're saying. What I'm saying now is that you're making an exception on how you should show up as
I'm
a
not
father.
making an exception. I said that I
You
don't agree with
are.
You been telling me my mic was muted. I knew that's why my face wasn't going. But anyway, um BS, total BS. Anton doesn't believe what he's saying, and neither do I. He's not convincing anybody. My face wasn't moving. But anyway, go watch it. You'll see that Anton is not he don't believe the shit that he's saying. But anyway, I wanted to get into this next one, being a happy wife to your husband, right? So I was on Facebook. I think it was this morning I was on Facebook, and I saw this video. Let me pause it really quick. Um, Let me do this. Oh no, that didn't work. Let me do this. Okay. So this young lady came on here, and I just want to listen to what she's saying really quick before I give my commentary, or listen to a lot of what she was saying. And she did a second video, as far as giving more details of what she's dealing with in her marriage with her husband. So let's listen to this, and then I'll probably stop and get some commentary in between. But let's listen to her and what she was saying. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Did you ever think you would marry someone and then one day not be able to even stand the look of their face?
Today is my 3-year wedding anniversary, and I can without a doubt say that this has been hands down the most depressing, miserable, horrible 3 years of my life. I have literally never been so depressed. I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married. Well, I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life, like me, my kids, him. He goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck, but he works. That is all he does. I am in a different town because I had to take my kids to their football practice. And I asked him to watch our daughter. And you know what he did? He slept. He slept since he got home. What did I do? I did homework. I fed the kids. I took my son to speech. I went to the bank. I paid people to mow my yard because, he can't mow the yard anymore. I, like I said, made sure homework got done. I got them ready for football. I took them to football. I tried taking care of myself and went on a walk. But, when I started realizing I hadn't heard from him, I'm calling and calling and calling and begging for the bare minimum of him to watch our fucking daughter. Excuse my language. I'm just so upset. And to watch our daughter, to cut up a watermelon and to make dinner. I mean, that is absolutely bare minimum. That's not asking for much. And it's not even today. It's not even today. Oh, so then when he realizes that he's almost running out of time and we're going to be home soon, he's like, oh, I can't because I don't have this. So you know what a normal person would do? They'd be like, oh, I don't have that. Let me go get it. But guess what? He has 30 minutes until everybody's going to be home. So he's just like, I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to lay now because I waited so long and now I'm mad at myself. Now I'm just not going to do anything because F it. I am 30 years old and I'm literally begging for the bare minimum every single day. I am a married single mom. That's what I am. Yeah, I don't work, but the amount of weight I carry, I have been applying for jobs. I mean, I can tell you right now, the reason women stay in shit relationships is one, because they don't have the means to leave financially, like a house. Two, the idea of a family. I can tell you why I've stayed. Money. It's that simple. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. He used to want me to be a stay-at-home mom. Now he just doesn't care because he doesn't care about anything. I shouldn't have to wake a 32-year-old man up for work. No matter what shift, first, second, third, I shouldn't have to wake him up for work. I shouldn't have to tell him what time to set an alarm if I can't wake him up. I shouldn't have to call or make people go wake him up. I shouldn't tell a grown man that he probably should shower after working all day. I shouldn't have to tell him to brush his teeth. I shouldn't have.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because I just want to bring some things to life about being this man's wife, right? It's not about trying to be a wife like everybody else. Every individual marriage is different, right? So you have to recognize the type of man that you have, and then you have to be the type of woman that he needs. So in her second video, she's going to give a little more detail about her husband and his situation and different things of that nature. But on her end, the fact of the matter is, my dear, first of all, she said he works, his job is hard, and his hours are probably long. He's the only one working, which means he's the breadwinner. I didn't hear her say what type of work her husband does. But the fact of the matter is that he is the breadwinner in the home, and the one of the reasons why the home is being sustained the way it is. Now, she did say she gets Social Security from her father. I don't know if she still gets those Social Security benefits since she's married. I don't know. But it sounds to me as if maybe she doesn't. He's bringing in all the income. So, with that being said, ma'am, in order for you to keep him working and bringing that money into the home so that you can be a stay-at-home mom, competently raise your children, competently be there for them, competently take care of a household. Ma'am, if you got to wake him up and put him in the damn tub and wash his butthole, then that means that's what you do. Cause you ain't got shit else to do, right? Um, you have the life of that you have to be a fully functioning wife. Your husband, he has some things going on. He needs help. You're there to be a helpmate. If you want a 50-50 relationship, I guarantee you that is going to suck more than you know. Because a lot of times, and I'm just speaking from the black sense, I really don't speak on other races on topics concerning other races, but I'll just tell you how it goes in the black community. When we do 50-50 with a man, 9 times out of 10, it turns into 100-0. 100 on the woman's part and 0 on the man's part because he feels like since you bring in some money, he can lose his job. And then he can sit on the couch day after day and half ass look for another one. Right? At this point in time, I know it may sound difficult, it may be difficult. However, he's doing the most important, one of the most important parts. The other part is raising the kids, but he's doing the part that is maintaining and sustaining the family, the household income, the soap powder, the toothbrushes, the toothpaste, the body wash, the shampoo, the shoes, the clothes, your personal womanly needs. What he is doing is maintaining the entire situation. At this point in time, without him and his job, ma'am, where would you, him, and the children be? So if you have the type of husband that you need to mother and baby, and you're staying and you have stayed and you had one, and not only one, you had two, and not only two, you had three, and you knew who this man was when he showed you at baby number one or baby number two, and you still decided to stay. You did not take any steps to get up off your rear end to make goals to separate yourself from the situation. So you can't stay in this situation after 3 kids and then decide that this is not what I want to do. I mean, you can, but then you can't get on the internet and cry about it, right? I feel for her, but at the same time, do you not know there are plenty women out here who will get this here? Listen, run his bath water, turn the shower on, get his towel, get his washcloth, have him a new bar of soap. His work clothes will be ironed. His lunch will be made. Shit, she'll drive his ass to work and pick him up if need be, in order for him to keep bringing that income in the house. What what this young lady is failing to realize is that this man is not her. He is his own individual self, and this is how he's carrying his own individual self. So as a wife, as a woman that married him, and now that you're his wife, if you love him, then you are going to support him in any way that he needs. If not, then you are supposed to exit stage left, right? And not have 3 kids. And then, oh my God, right? If this man is doing a hard job, I'm going to tell you, as a working woman, he ain't got no energy. I'm surprised he had energy to make 2 more babies, ma'am. This man don't have no energy. I don't know she didn't say what kind of job he did, but I can imagine that because is not contributing physically in the home, he ain't got no energy. All he feels like doing is coming home, going to bed, relaxing, having whatever life he can. See, what she's failing to realize is that while she's at home, right, and the kids are at school, she gets the kids up from school, she gets them up for school, she drops them off at school, she has 6 to 7 hours alone time. She gets to wash her hair, she gets to soak in a tub, she gets to paint her nails, she gets to blow dry her hair, she gets to go to the grocery store at leisure and sashay around the grocery store, spending money that her husband earned. She gets to maybe talk on the phone, casual conversation with her friends. She gets to sit down on the couch and watch her soap operas while she folds her clothes. She gets to snack all day. She gets to go in the refrigerator, make sandwiches, eat whatever the hell it is she likes to eat all day, put her feet up on the couch, take a nap if she wants to. She gets to do all these things. Now let's see what your husband gets to do. Okay, he gets to get up at whatever time, rush into the shower, dry off, put some clothes on, run out the door, drive to work, work all day, doing someone else's bidding, maybe having to communicate with the public all day. Then, oh wow, he gets to come home and maybe shower if he has the energy, go to bed, get up, and do the same thing all over again. When does he have time to really spend with the kids and put a miniature car together? When does he have time to and energy to help the kids with their homework? When does he have time to thoroughly blow dry his hair and go get a haircut? When does he have time to floss his teeth appropriately? When does he have time to go out and sashay around and do whatever the hell it is he wants to do? When does he have time to sit on the phone and talk to his friends at leisure? When does he have time to really sit on the couch and put his feet up? When does he have time to, I don't know, clip his toenails, right? When does he have time to clip his fingernails? When does he have this leisure time that you have that you're complaining about having, right? I can say this because this is how I feel. It doesn't matter. Yes, you're right. It doesn't matter if I'm working the morning shift. It doesn't matter if I'm working the evening shift. It doesn't matter if I'm working the night shift. I feel the same way when I go out to work and come home. All I want to do is go to bed. So, with that being said, I can't. And when I do, I feel guilty because I'm like, dang, I'll wake up and be like, did y'all get something to eat? And luckily, my kids are just really independent. Yeah, we ate. Okay. My oldest son, sometimes I'm getting off of work and I'm at the grocery store and I'm planning on making this meal when I get home. And my son will call me on the phone and he'll say, Mom, I cooked. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Right? You have to be out there in the working. You do not know how much energy it takes to work a job nowadays. Right? I mean, the, my God, if she'll see. She'll see. She plans on going out and getting a job, and you'll see that you'll then understand how he feels, right? You'll then understand how he feels when you come home and your feet hurt. Your feet are throbbing when you take your shoes off. You're so tired, you don't even feel like getting in the shower. And then don't let Saturday come. You don't feel like doing nothing but staying in the bed. I get it. She wants a more functioning man. But in this situation, ma'am, I'm sorry, that's not what you get. What you get is you get to assist this man to bring the money home.
I have to tell him to feed his kids while he's taking care of them. I shouldn't have to tell him to watch his kids. I shouldn't have to tell him.
Girl, let me tell you something, honey. I'm so fortunate that these kids watch themselves. And I'm not saying I got small babies, but even when they were smaller, oh my goodness, they had a lot of things to keep them busy, like books and coloring books and crayons and different things of that nature. But you know, honey, let me tell you what I used to do. I used to bring them in the living room with all their toys and stuff. I didn't really do toys, but I would bring them in the living room with their books and crayons and coloring books and their little tables that I bought them. And I would lay on the couch and go to sleep. And they're on the floor playing. It's that bad, honey. It's that bad. Okay. Nobody's having a damn good time nowadays going to work and coming home. There's times where you don't even get to go and spend the money from the damn paycheck. And if you do, you're spending it fast, loose, and sometimes stupid, because that's just how tired you are. That's just how non functioning your brain is. It's tough, baby girl. And I don't think it's fair that this man is I mean, damn, he's making a pretty damn good effort, if I must say so myself. And this in 2024, honey, you have a traditional man, and I don't think you have the traditional wife mentality. Because if that was my man, I would have his bath water together when he got home, or whatever he needs. If you want to take a shower, I'm going in there. I'm turning the shower on. I'm sitting him down on the toilet. I'm taking his shoes off. I'm taking his socks off. I'm taking his shirt off. Right? I might not even do a shower. I might just put my man in the tub, honey, and wash him down real good. Okay? He ain't even got to lift. All he got to do is lift his arm so I can wash under it. He might not have to do that, because there's a way of getting under the arms. You don't have to lift it up. Right? Turn him over, wash that butt crack, all that. Lift that Peter Whacker and get that scrotum real good, honey. I'd be bathing my man. You just got home. You just brought home. This check just hit the bank. Please, his dinner gonna be ready. See what a lot of see. I'm gonna tell you what's missing. I'm gonna tell you what's missing. What's missing are the elder women of yesterday. See those women, and I'm telling you, and when I'm speaking for experience. I used to know this lady. I know this lady, and this what she does, because she stays home. Her man goes out to work. She's an older lady, older than me, right? Has her master's degree, but she stays home and does her thing. But this is what the women of yesterday, the elders of yesterday, this is what they do. They cook breakfast and dinner at the same time, ma'am, right? They don't cook breakfast and then wait until 5 o'clock after they done brought the kids home from school and cook dinner. What they do is they cook breakfast and they cook dinner at 4 a.m. Dinner is in the oven, waiting, already done for the husband to get home. All she got to do is heat it up, sit it in front of him. See, we don't respect the elder women. We disrespect our mothers to the point where they're not going to help us, and they would if we go to them. But we're so I don't need nobody. I can do this by myself. I don't need no advice. I don't need no consultations with the elders. I don't need none of that. But I'm going to tell you, the elders did not have a good time and did not keep their sustain their lives by complaining and not figuring out ways to get shit done while they man was at work. So something has to give. Like for me, being a single mom, there's no way. I tried the cheerleading with my daughters. I tried various things with my kids, but at the end of the day, they didn't want to do it anyway. They wanted to be at home with me. I was fortunate, right? But taking them to cheerleading practice at like 5, 6 o'clock at night, that was very, very draining for me because I had to work. I had to take them to cheerleading practice. I had to sit there and wait for them. I had to do all these various things, and it just wasn't working out. Like I said, fortunately, they didn't want to do it anymore. But something has to give. Maybe you have to give up them activities and just take them to the movies, right? Take them to the park and throw a ball with them. Maybe the things that you have going on, it's too much for your husband because he has to work a full-time job plus hours. So we have to not just think about ourselves. We have to think about the other person. Just because it's there to be done doesn't mean that everybody can do it, right? And then for me, I don't believe in having kids in sports unless it's going to lead to a career, right? It might lead to a college scholarship, but let's face it, how many kids that are dumped into sports or forced into sports or made to do all these sports activities, how many of them actually go on to get a scholarship? How many of them actually go on to play pro ball or whatever it is? How many? Yes, it is a wonderful thing, beautiful thing to have the kids active. But honey, they can be active at the park. They can be active at the museum. You don't it's like she's desiring, or she has put together this life that is just not agreeing with her husband. So you have to think about the breadwinner in the family, because without him, you guys won't have no bread. So we got to come outside of ourselves, and we have to actually look at what we're doing to the other person when we're having all these activities and things going on. It's too much.
What to put the kids in when it comes to clothes. I shouldn't have to tell him where the clothes are. He doesn't even know my kids' teachers' names. I shouldn't have to manage his schedule.
Okay, but did you tell him the teachers' names? If you want him to know certain information, post it on the refrigerator, right? I don't know. Um, Talk about the teachers with him, whether he's listening or not. There are so many different ways to have him participate. Like I know in the way she's describing things, she feels as if she's a single mother. But I'd like to hear from him. I would really, really like to hear from him. And I know what he gonna say. I'm tired. I get up, I work all day. I love my family. I love my kids. I love my wife. But I gotta go to work in order to take care of them, in order to house them, in order to feed them, in order to clothe them, in order to make sure they have the things that they need. It sounds to me like he's making a huge sacrifice of his own life. And we do make a sacrifice of our own lives when we go out here and when we go to work. And then we come home and we don't even have time for ourselves. Me personally, I come home and I'm just like, I'm surprised I'm doing. I know why I'm doing this live right now, but you know, other times Sometimes I'd be surprised, like, oh my God, I just actually did that. Where did I get the energy from? It was probably coffee, right? Or oh my God, I just had the energy to do that. Oh my God. So we got to come outside of ourselves, and if you love your husband, you're gonna figure out how to do it. Stop depending on him to go to see. It's funny because we have a lot of women that say, you expect me to go to work, work a full-time job, and then come home and then cook and clean. I'm not doing that. If I got to go to work and come home and cook and clean, well, you got to come home from work and cook and clean too. So, how does that equate to you go to work, stay home, but you still got to come home from work and cook and clean? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Because the kids are at school and you got 6 to 7 hours of nothingness. And when I say of nothingness, I don't mean it literally. It means that you get to do what you want to do when you want to do it, and you really don't even have the kids. The kids are at school. So where's where's the stress again? So it kind of seems like if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it wouldn't be that difficult, because I remember when I worked 3 12s, no, 2 12s on Saturday and Sunday. When I was at home all week from Monday to Friday, you know what I did? I got every morning, I got up, I got the kids. It was like it was almost as if I was the husband and the wife. I worked and I was a stay at home mom at the same time, which I really really enjoyed. But that Monday through Friday, I would get up in the morning, I would get the kids ready for school, I would drop them off at school or make sure they got on the school bus. I would come back in the house. I would uh get my purse and different things of that nature, or do whatever I wanted to do. Maybe I come home, have some coffee and a cigarette or whatever. But then what I would do is I would get in my car and I would go to the grocery store. See, because I like cooking fresh food. So every basically, if maybe every morning or maybe every 2 days, I'll go to the grocery store. Say for example, I'll go to the grocery store on Monday, depending on how I'm feeling. If I know what I want to cook for the next 2 days, I'll get 2 days worth of fresh food, right? Otherwise, I will go to the grocery store in the morning. I get my fresh meat, I get my fresh vegetables, whatever it is I'm going to cook for that day. Come home, cook it. Dinner's ready by the time these kids came home. The laundry was done, the house was clean, and I could just really just kick back. I had time to take a nap. I had time to take a nap, right? I had to. I mean, the house stayed immaculately clean. So I'm just trying to figure out, where is all the stress when the kids are at school and you're at home and you get to do shit at leisure. Why is dinner not ready? Why does your husband have to come home and cook dinner? Why? I mean, like, why the kids are school age and they're in football. Why does your husband need to know where their clothes are? Don't they know where their clothes are? Why does your husband have to get them dressed? Why didn't you put out, if you knew you were going and you're the one that stays at home and you're the one that washes the clothes and puts them away, how the fuck is he going to know where they are? Before you leave that house, if you're going to leave him with those children and he needs to do things for those kids, you need to have those kids' clothes out. You need the shirt, the pants, the socks, the shoes that you want them to wear, the underwear or whatever, right? You need to have that out for him. If you want him to cook something, maybe you need to have everything set out for him. Whatever it is, he does not run the household. This is a man that has totally given you rulership of everything that goes on in the house, including the finances, as she says. He doesn't know about the finances. He doesn't know how. Honey, you're the queen bee. All he does is bring home the honey, and you distribute it where it needs to go. So I'm just trying to figure out, what's wrong. I get it. This might not be the man for you. You want the dream life. You want, I don't know where it came from, but that is usually what the man did. He went home, because I've listen, I done seen men do it. They go to work, they come home, they sit on the couch, they read the newspaper. Dinner gets set in front of them. Plate gets removed from in front of them, right? Coffee gets delivered. Empty coffee cup gets taken away. I don't know. Beer gets set down in front of them. Empty beer bottle gets taken away. They have worked all day and they have brought home the finances. Everything that you are doing in the home is because of his working. So I'm just kind of like, I'm not understanding, because you know um yeah, I don't understand. I did the parent teacher conferences, I did the school first day of school deal, all that, the graduations, the award ceremonies. I did all that and went to work. And it wasn't until I started doing the 312s that I had no energy. I would not recover. I did the 312s night shift, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I promise you, I would not recover from that until Wednesday. And then Wednesday, I'm still dragging around. And then here comes Thursday. Boom. My only real day off, because I'm not so doggone drained and tired. And then, boom, I got to get ready for work on Friday. And then to top it off, my Friday was pretty much a like a 2 hour sleep day, because I had to come home. I had to get up on Friday morning, get the kids to school, then come back, try to get some sleep before I had to be to work at 6 o'clock. But then at 1:30, I had to get up, get in the car, go out there and go pick the kids up from school, and then come back and try to get 2 hours sleep. Then on Monday morning, when I got off, couldn't go to sleep. I had to come home, get the kids ready, take them to school, come back, go to sleep, have my sleep interrupted because I got to get up at 1:30 to go get the kids. I remember one day I overslept and forgot to pick up. Oh my God. Woo! I'm just going to tell you, if you're not a working person, and if you're not serious about getting your bread, you're not gonna know until you get into that facet of life. Otherwise, you're just not gonna understand how it feels. You're not gonna understand how it feels. So I feel for this young lady, but I just kind of think that, she's not going about things the right way. She needs some consultation from an elder.
And mine and my kids. I shouldn't have to tell him, hey, you need to refill your medicine. Hey, you need a doctor.
That's right. You shouldn't have to tell him that he needs to refill his medicine. You should be refilling his medicine when it's time, because he's at work. These are the things that you signed up for, ma'am. I'm sorry. This is the kind of man that you have. These are the things that you signed up for. So you're supposed to be happily making sure that you have everything together for your man so that all he has to do is go out there and make the bread. No, you shouldn't have to tell him any of those things. You should be doing them. All of his work is outside the home. All of your work is inside the home. He's not supposed to go to work and then come home and have to do housework and cook and do all these things that you're supposed to be doing, because then you can't go to work and do his job for him. So why should he come home and do your job for you? I mean, we just got to put it out there. Now, if y'all both worked, then I think maybe he'd have a little bit more. Let me help. Let me get up and help around because we both work. But you both don't work. You're at home. You don't have nobody to tell you what to do. You don't have to tell anybody else what to do. You are pretty much at leisure. Peace and quiet in the home. He don't get none of that. He don't even get time to thoroughly dry his balls, honey. Come on.
Doctor's appointment. Hey, you should probably get your oil changed. Hey, your brakes don't sound good. Not only tell him, but then I have to call and schedule that oil change because will he do it himself? No.
Right, because you're the secretary, ma'am. You're the CEO, you're the secretary, and you're the worker of the household and everything that needs to be done. He's just simply the facilitator. So let me get this straight. You're complaining about having all the money that you need to sustain the household.
Will he call himself? No. I am raising another kid. And so what's going to happen when I get my job?
No, you're not raising a kid. You're facilitating a man that works and that is bringing home the income. Raising a kid would be a man that's sitting home all day on the couch playing video games while you go and work. That is raising a kid. I'm telling you, giving it to you from the black perspective. That is raising a kid. When you have to go out and go to work and then come home, and then you have to order his medications, and then you have to tell him about the brakes in the car, and then you have to cook and clean and wash clothes while he done sat on his ass all day and you worked. That's raising a kid. What you have is a grown man that's out working, bringing home the money so that things can be taken care of around the household. Honey, when you have to start working, you're going to want to be a stay at home mom again.
I am going to be doing everything that I'm doing on top of working now.
You don't know that, right? You're looking into the to a future that you don't know you're going to have to do. Who knows? He might say, "Okay, well, she works now." You might come home one day from work and all the shit is done and you're like, "Oh, wow. Yeah, honey, I know you're going to be tired when you get home from work, especially you're a woman, you have a menstrual cycle, you have cramps, you're getting out there, you're going to work. I decided that, I was going to wash the dishes and cook some food for you when you got home. The laundry is done. The kids, I helped them a little bit with their homework. I tried, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting back in the groove of things because I see that, you're working. You don't know what this man is going to do. But as of right now, no, your work is inside the home. Everything that you're doing, that's what you're supposed to be doing as a non working adult that's able to sit at home. And from the way it sounds like, you're not even doing that right, because that man should have a hot meal every day he gets home from work. There should be no leftovers. There should be nothing coming out of a can. There should be nothing frozen. There should be no frozen vegetables. The corn should be shaved off the cob and heated up. The broccoli should be fresh from the grocery store, should not come out of a bag. The carrots should be freshly cut and cooked, right? You know, you even have time to make fresh bread from scratch, pies from scratch, cookies from scratch, all that. Because while you're at home and the kids are at school, what else could you possibly be doing? And I'm just putting it out there. This is what an older person would tell you. If you don't want to cook at 4 p.m., cook at 4 a.m. If you don't want to be washing clothes all day, start washing at 4 a.m. Before your man is up, before the kids is up. Get up. You can, once you drop the kids off at school, the dinner's cooked, the clothes are washed and folded and put away. You can go back to bed, ma'am, and get some much needed rest. What I think it is that you're you're not using your time effectively. You're not using the 24 hours that you get in a day wisely. The day doesn't start at 6 a.m. when you have to get the kids up and get them ready for school. Sometimes my day starts as early as 3 a.m. And when I did only work Saturday and Sunday, that is basically the time that my day started. Honey, I used to get up at 3 in the morning and I'm at Walmart at 4 a.m. before the COVID hit, before they closed Walmart. When Walmart was open 24 hours a day, I was at the grocery store at 4 a.m. I was grocery shopping at 4 a.m. What you have is you have poor time management skills, right? Your husband is home in the bed asleep at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. The children are in the bed asleep at 3 a.m. All you have to do is give your husband a little nudge. Honey, I'm going to the grocery store. I'll be back in about 2 hours. Have your list already made. Get in there, haul ass. There's nobody there. There used to be nobody there, maybe a few people there. I used to be able to get in and out, get down up and down the aisles, see no interference, none of that stuff. Get to the checkout counter, get out of there fast. I used to do it. It's poor. What you have is you have poor time management skills. So by the time, if you get up at 4 a.m. and you cook breakfast and you cook dinner, that's done. While you're cooking, so breakfast is usually faster. Dinner usually takes some time if you're baking some chicken, or you got to roast in the oven, or you can start your slow cooker or whatever the hell it is you're doing, and then multitask, put some clothes in the wash, put them in the dryer, checking on the food, folding the clothes, putting them away. You understand different things. Yeah, you what you have is you have poor time management skills, because you can get a lot done at from 3 to 6 a.m. When it's time to get the kids up for school, time to wake your husband up for work. Oh yes, you got to wake him up for work, honey. He's tired. He's tired. He's beat. Right? Um, get them kids up. Dinner's already ready. Clothes are already clean. The dishes should already be washed, right? You can sweep the floor, drop them kids off at school, get them ready, drop them off at school, come back, maybe do a little sweeping, a little mopping, clean the bathroom, honey, and take a nap. Dinner's already ready. Clothes are already washed. Beds are already made. What the hell else is there to do? You pay bills once a month, so you shouldn't be paying bills all month. So you have plenty of time to order this man's medication. You have plenty of time to make an appointment to get those brakes fixed on a car. You have plenty of time to get that oil change scheduled. Yes. So it's poor time management skills. You're not utilizing your time correctly so that you are able to get ample amount of rest. So by the time it's time to go get the kids from school, you've had your little nap. You come home, you have enough energy to help them with their homework. Um, if they get home at 2:30, you can go ahead and feed them because dinner's already ready. And then when your husband gets home at 5 or 6, his dinner is already ready. If you have to take the kids to to sports practice, all you have to do is fix your husband's plate and put it in a microwave. Shoot him a text, honey. Your food is in the microwave. As you know, today is the kids' practice, sports practice, so I'll be there with them. But your food is in the microwave. Just push two and heat it up. Okay, enjoy. I love you. I'll see you later. Come home, run the kids' bath water, get them in it, get them to bed, have a shower yourself, check on your man. Honey, have you had your shower yet? You haven't? Okay, well, let me run you some bath water and get things together for you. Put your man in the bath water or whatever. Uh, I don't know. Put him in the bed, give him some good loving, send him off to sleep. Sit up for a minute, prepare for your next day. Maybe take the food out because remember you're gonna be cooking at 4 in the morning, honey. So that meat needs to come out. You need to be chopping up them vegetables and different things of that nature, honey. It's time management that you're not, that you're not utilizing correctly. You have poor time management skills. As a stay-at-home mom, it's a lot. You need naps. You have to take a nap, right? You have to. It's what I used to do. It was mandatory for me to take a nap. I had nap time. 12 noon was nap time, right? Get in a hour and a half nap. Go pick the kids up from school. Yes, it's your time management, ma'am. Get it together.
I shouldn't have to tell a grown man if he can and can't buy something because he doesn't know how much money we have because never in his life has he ever downloaded a banking app on his phone.
That's fabulous, honey. Your man don't know. You don't know how much money y'all got, girl. Huh. Honey, I checked the accounts today, and this is how much money we have. So, if you were planning on buying anything, just know that this is how much you have to inform him. He has given you 100% full reign of the household, and he's not fussing and hounding you about what you're spending and how much is left and this that. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Where are her elders? Where are some elders? Somebody please help this woman. She got a man that's bringing home the bacon. Mm, okay.
Never has he ever looked at a pay stub. Never has he ever even looked at a bill to see what it costs. So yeah, he might make the money, but who carries the financial weight? Who carries the way to budget the money? Who makes the grocery list?
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening in prayer. We want to pray for this young lady. We we pray that you give her some time management skills. We pray that you um, enlighten her. We pray that you open a door to see how fabulous her life is. Just put your hands on her, Lord. She, right now she's a little confused about how to be a wife, Lord. Send a book her way, send an elder her way, maybe send a job her way so that she can, experience what her husband has experienced, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Who makes sure we have food so we can eat food? Who makes sure he has this, that, and everything else? When all he gives a shit about is getting high and sleeping. Because you know what? If he's not high, he's not happy. I should not be begging a grown man for the bare minimum.
Okay. Now, baby girl, if the job don't have a problem with him getting high, you shouldn't either. Okay. Now, for me and my man that brings home the bacon, we gonna get him a weed card and we gonna get him the best weed that's available. We're gonna get him the good stuff. We're gonna get him the stuff that's not full of chemicals. We're gonna try to get him the cleanest weed possible. And I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna roll his joints or his blunts or put the shit in his pipe if he wants it. He gonna have a smoke room. I'm gonna put some metal at the bottom of the door and around the what do you call that? The threshold, the bottom of the threshold. You know why? Because he gonna have his smoke room. I'm gonna take a wet towel. I'm going to put it on top of a trash bag and I'm going to push it up to the door against that metal frame so that the bottom of the door and the threshold don't rot out from the water. And he going to have his weed time and he going to do all that. And then and he going to go to bed and then I'm going to wake him up so he can go to work. How may I help you ladies?
Oh, can I give one to my friend?
Can you do what?
Can I give one to my friend?
What do you want to give to her? Cause I might want it. No, yeah, you can. You put some clothes on. Oh, okay. I I don't know, but yeah, my man gonna have the best weed. Cause see, if you get him the good shit, he won't be tripping out off the chemicals, right? You gotta support your man in all his endeavors and make sure it's the best. He's bringing home the money. It's the best. He nothing but the best for my king, right? But if you don't that, then you should exit stage left.
On top of the bare minimum, I shouldn't have to deal with the anger outbursts, breaking my shit where my door won't even close, putting holes in my walls, threatening to kill me in front of my kids. The list could just go on and on.
Well, you know, um, as the wife, as the stay-at-home mom, as the one who doesn't have the stress of employment, you have to create the environment that you want, and it should be you should want of happiness, right? So I would imagine that there would be no broken doors, no holes in the walls, and no threats if dinner was ready, clothes were washed, kids were well taken care of. When he comes home, your hair is combed. You look like something he should be coming home to as a man making the money. Your conversation should be that of happiness, and your conversation should be that of, you know, how was your day, honey? Would you like for me to rub your feet? Do you need a beer? I rolled your joint or your blunt, or I got the weed in your pipe, or whatever. Here it is. Sit down, relax, put your feet up. Would you like some coffee? Would you like some tea? Would you like a beer? Would you like a margarita? Do you want a martini? What is it? How can I serve you, my king, as your queen? Right? What the fuck is going on? I don't think that this is the man for you, even though you have his children. I just really don't think that this is the man for you because he's not doing the things you want him to do. You want him, he's doing what he's supposed to do. And I want to say 85% of what you want him to do, which is bring home the money so that you don't have to work. right? You can stay home, you can raise the children even though they're at school. Um, so you need to find a man that is going to require that you go to work and that y'all do 50-50, right? You need a man that's probably going to be like, did you wash the clothes? Did you pay the bills? Why are you spending so much money? Why did you buy that? We don't need that. You didn't need that. How come the kids, how come Shelly's hair isn't combed? Why isn't, where's Billy's cleats? Um, I went in a drawer to get Stephanie some clothes to wear, and all she had was shirts. How come there she doesn't have any clean pants? Um, look at what why are the kids' shoes not clean? Um, it's you're 15 minutes late taking the kids to school. What's going on? Why is your hair looking like that? Why do you have that T-shirt on? I think that's probably the kind of man that she wants. One that's gonna just hound the shit out of her. I looked at the accounts today, and I saw that you bought two bras that you didn't need. Don't do that again. Ask me before you spend money. Matter of fact, I'm taking the finances out of your hands. I'll be dealing with the finances now. When you need something, you come ask me. Oh, honey, I need some sanitary napkins. That's not in the budget. Use toilet paper. Honey, I wanted to. Would it be okay if I went and bought some steaks, some steaks for dinner? No, chicken will be fine. Well, I wanted to go and buy some fresh vegetables. Get frozen. Oh, well, honey, the kids needed some new uniforms for their football. Sew up the ones that they have. Like what the fuck? Like what the hell? This man has given you freedom and full reign over everything, and you're mad because he doesn't oversee the finances and he's not a nitpicker. And I mean, come on. Oh Lord.
And yeah, I know I can leave because trust me, I am leaving. But people can't just walk out and leave one day when you have kids and 12 years of life wrapped up together. You got to have a plan. You can't just walk away with nothing. You have to have a plan. My plan is in effect right now, but I just had a rant because I'm just baffled. I just don't want to spend another day like this. And I know I just got to get through a couple more days, couple more weeks. And then what?
Well, I'm gonna just say this: you're tired. You need some rest. Um, what I suggest is, and I suggest you take the kids out of extracurricular activities and you get yourself some rest. If they want to play in sports, then they can do that when they're able to get themselves to and from their practice. They can wait until high school and get on the football team and get on the basketball team, and they can get themselves to and from there. Or it'll be less difficult. Maybe all you have to do is drop them off and pick them up. But for now, a lot of the things that you have going on are not 100% necessary. So you need to cut some of those things out, right? Your stress is stressing your husband, and that's not fair to him when he is bringing home the money. Now, watch. You're going to divorce this man, you're going to leave this man, and he's going to find him a woman that appreciates being able to stay home, and she might smoke a joint or two with him. then your gripe is going to be, well, he's with his new girlfriend and he doesn't have time for the kids, and he doesn't want to pay his child support, and it's like pulling teeth to get him to spend time with his kids. And uh, yeah, that's going to be your next gripes and moans. And then when you're actually alone with the kids and you can't leave them at home, you have to take them everywhere with you. You have to go to work. You have to pick up extra shifts. You have to work extra hours. Then you have to come home and you have to cook and you have to clean and you have to listen to the kids fighting and stop them from fighting. And then you have to get everybody together and and there's nobody for you to go to because, see, your husband or your ex husband, soon to be ex husband, he's going to continue to do what he's doing. He's going to go to work. He's going to come home. He's going to go to bed. He's going to sleep. He's going to smoke his weed. He's going to, I don't know, put some frozen pizza in the oven. He's going to, I don't know, put some Hot Pockets in the microwave. And he's not going to give a goddamn less. Because at the end of the day, he's going to have to stay a working man. And so the only thing that he's going to not have to do is probably listen to you cry, bitch, and moan about having to do things for him and for the house and for the kids when you had no job. So he's going to feel fabulous because he's not going to have anybody in his ear telling him what a poor person he is because he doesn't work a 9 to I don't know 9 to 7 and then come home and cook and clean and put clothes on kids and then pay and then look at bank accounts and pay bills. He'll probably get some automatic withdrawal going for the utility bills, phone bill, you know, he's going to continue to be the same person he is. Sorry. And then his new girlfriend is going to come, and you know what she's going to do? She's going to turn his house into a home. She's going to decorate. She's going to cook. She's going to bake pies. She's going to bake cakes. She's going to have all the damn sweets he wants for them munchies. She going to have the nachos. You know, I be seeing these white ladies on here cooking up all kind of shit. They be cooking beef and macaroni and cheese. They be cooking noodles with all kind of stuff in it. Honey, they be cooking them up and doing it happily. That woman's gonna wash his clothes. She's gonna she's gonna run his bath water. She gonna rub his feet. She gonna do all that, and she's gonna do it happily. She gonna run out to the dispensary and get his weed, his zigzags or his blunts. She gonna come back home. She gonna roll it up for him. She gonna light it up for him, right? She gonna sit next to him at the dinner table. She gonna feed him because he's so tired. He been working. She gonna feed him, right? She gonna cut his steak up. She gonna cut his pancakes up. She gonna cut his French toast up. She gonna do all that, right? Because that's what he deserves. Because he's a man that brings home the money. And she gonna enjoy being in that house with her feet up, watching her soap operas or whatever the hell it is she does. She gonna go out and get her nails done. She gonna be getting her hair done. She gonna do all that. And she might have bring along a couple of kids of hers. And you know what he gonna do? He gonna find the energy and he gonna start taking that woman and them kids out because she's so graceful and so helpful and so supportive. She probably gonna have a big ass diamond ring on her finger. He gonna marry her. All that. All that. Girl, Jesus Christ.
Lose their dad, when I quit forcing him to be one, when I quit forcing him to help, when he loses his job because he doesn't wake up himself, like
No, some another woman is gonna come and wake him. Another woman is waiting. Girl, one of the women at his job is waiting for you to move out the way. He gonna get plenty woke up. He gonna get plenty woke up, right? But these are the things, these are the requirements of being this man's wife. I'd happily wake him up. Honey, baby, it's time to get up. I made breakfast. As a matter of fact, I made dinner too. Would you like to take some dinner for lunch? Or do you just want me to make you some lunch and you save the dinner from when you get home? Options, baby. Give the man some options. Communicate with him while he's sleepwalking. I mean, come on, 12 years? You should know when this man has to take a shit. You should know his shit days. 12 years? You should know how many puffs he takes, how many puffs it takes for him to finish his weed, his joint, his blunt. 12 years? You should know all that. You should know what time that man pisses every day when he gets home. You should know 12 years, you should know how many hair follicles that man has. You really should. I mean, you should know how fast his toenails grow. You should know all that. 12 years? Who you been paying attention to? Your kids should know. Okay, dad's on his way home. This is what we need to do. You should be training them kids to help you with that man. 12 years? It shouldn't be nothing. You know what, after 12 years, you know what makes that man put holes in a wall. 12 years, you know what provokes that man to threaten you. You know what you're doing, ma'am. 12 years, you know. You're trying to force him to be something he's not. So anyway, let's go to the other part of her video that she did. This one right here, when she got to telling what his issues were. And we're not gonna listen to the whole thing because only like the beginning is what she's saying is what's important. I didn't even listen to the whole thing. Where did this start at? Hold on. Okay, let's start it here and see what
way with
happens.
nothing. You have to have a plan. My plan is in effect right now, but I just had a rant because I'm just baffled. I just don't want to spend another day like this. And I know I just got to get through a couple more days, couple more weeks. And then what? My kids lose their dad. When I quit forcing him to be one, when I quit forcing him to help, when he loses his job because he doesn't wake up himself, like I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's just not fair. Happy 3-year anniversary to me. Happy 3 years of misery.
Mm.
I mean, I'm trying so hard not to be bitter, but like I've just never disliked somebody so much that I should love that I just don't. In sickness and health, better or worse, like no. Like so destroy myself and destroy my kids to keep a vow? Nope. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm waiting to get my kids from football so I can go home to a fight that I already know I'm gonna go home to. So I can figure out dinner at 8:30 at night and do showers.
Right, ma'am. Dinner should have been ready. Dinner should have been cooked at 4 a.m. It's your time management skills. You ain't got shit else to do. You ain't got shit else to do. Laundry once a week, twice a week. And if you smart, daily, take them clothes off. Everybody take their clothes off. You throw that shit in the washing machine. You stay with clean things. Only thing you really have to wash on the weekends is sheets and blankets and different things of that nature. Yeah, ma'am. Poor time management skills.
And get everything ready for the next day to do it all over again. Moms literally cannot give up. You just can't give up because nobody else is going to pick up the pieces. Dads will check out. Dads will do this. Dads will do that. But as a mom, you literally cannot because you have to carry it. All right. I'm done ranting. I guess I should say what a perfect day to wear my Patterson Law shirt. Problems with your ex, call Rex. If you need a good lawyer, he's your guy. But don't worry, I'm not going to need a lawyer because he's not going to fight for anything because that's how little he cares, which good for me, but
No, that's how little energy he has. He doesn't have the energy. Ma'am, if you want to go, go ahead and go. The man is tired. He's working. Jesus.
sad for my kids.
I made a video last night just ranting while I was waiting to pick my kids up. And I posted it, and I never expected it to get as many comments as it did, or views. I was just having a hard day and ranting. Um, I'll just tell a long story short. I met him when I was 16. I had just moved to a new town by myself. When I was 18, I was a senior in high school and I owned my own house, a small 1-bedroom house. I went to school my senior year. I worked 2 jobs and I had Social Security benefits from my dad dying. So I lived on my own. My senior year, I was completely on my own. I started dating my husband, who was 20 at the time. He lived at his dad's house. He did not work. So yeah, there was red flags, but he didn't work because he was taking care of his little siblings. Their mom was a drug addict and his dad was a truck driver. So he was helping his family.
Now, his mom was a drug addict, and he had to sit there and he had to watch his mom be a drug addict. And not only did he have to watch his mom be a drug addict, what else did he have to do? He had to take care of his siblings. Ding, 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 ding. This man was already a father before he had children. Now, let me say this. Although I like to keep a clean house, I despise cleaning. And you know why? Because when I was a little girl, I used to have to clean up while my mother sat around and, to me at the time, do nothing. Right? Now, of course, when I came into adulthood and got my own place and then had my own kids, and then recognize the problems that she had, I gave her some grace. But that didn't mean I still don't despise cleaning up. Okay. Now, this man had to take care of kids in his younger years. Just because he had to take care of kids doesn't mean he despised kids, but he's tired. He's tired. When did that man have the opportunity to have some freedom and be a kid himself? Right? See, we don't think about that. You know about it, but at the time when the man or when he's going through some things, you won't give him any grace. I didn't, and I did not say give him excuses. I said give him some grace to the fact that he had to take care of kids. Didn't mean he didn't love his siblings. Doesn't mean just because he's not a 24-hour dad doesn't mean he doesn't love his kids. But at the same time, you have to know that there's some issues there. Maybe he's tired of running bath water. Maybe he's tired of getting kids dressed. Maybe he's tired of knowing where every damn thing is because he had to do that. And imagine him having to do that as a boy, not as a girl, as a boy. He had to do woman's work when he should have been himself playing football, hanging out with his friends, learning how to be a boy, growing into a man. He was at home doing woman's work. And don't get hey, don't come for me. Don't come for me. He had to do, we're going to put it like this. He had to do his mom's work because she had and I call being a drug addict a disease. That's a disease. So you won't even give him any grace. You expect him to be the number one dad of the year. He got some issues, baby girl, and he needs your support. He don't need you telling him how to be a father. He don't need you to tell him how to be a man. What he needs is for you to support him in those times where he's feeling emotional about his mother and feeling emotional about having lost a lot of his childhood, having to take care of his siblings. But you knew this when you picked him. What did you think he was just going to do? Make a miraculous change and just you thought that maybe because he was good with his siblings that he was going to be good with his own kids? There was a 50-50 chance of going either way. And I'm not even going to say that this is a man that doesn't care about his kids because he damn sure makes sure obviously that they have everything that they need. I have not once heard this woman say he he doesn't bring home enough money. We don't have money for bread. We don't have money for eggs. We don't have enough money to pay the bills. I don't even have enough money to buy shoes for the kids. I can't put them in sports because I can't pay for their extracurricular activities. We don't have enough gas money in the car. Some days I have to walk the kids to school. Sometimes we're having ketchup and mustard sandwiches because we don't have anything. I've yet to hear her say any of these things. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I have yet to hear her say, and he doesn't come home at night. He stays away from the house 2 to 3 days at a time. I've yet to hear her say, I heard him on the phone talking with some woman. I, I have yet to hear her say any of the average things that women complain about. All he do is sit on the couch all day and play video games while I work. And then I have to come home from work and I have to cook and I have to clean. No, I didn't hear her say any of those things. Hmm, interesting. Kind of sounds like somebody that's unappreciative. At this point in time, in this day and age, you got a man. Oh, wait. You have a whole man that is able, that is working, and his income is enough to take care of everything in a household, and you have no financial complaints. I'm done. I'm done. I don't heard enough. I'm done. No ma'am. No ma'am. Lord, send somebody to help this woman. Okay, so moving right along to my final the final video I wanted to give commentary on. Um this one, I don't know, it just popped up and let me see. This is a short one. This is a short one. It's only 2 minutes, but I just want to explain why this woman feels the way that she feels. And you can disagree with me or you can agree with me. It doesn't matter. I know what I'm talking about. I know because I did have some time, even though I was young in the 80s, I did have some time to grow up in the 80s, did grow up in the 90s, did get to see the way the world changed. I have done research on how the world has changed, on how it was back then versus now. So, anyway, this is a woman who basically has she's just in total turmoil about the way things are going and her not being able to do what an American citizen is supposed to do. But anyway, let's hear her.
There's something wrong in this country telling people it is okay to work 3 jobs, not see your kids, not see your loved ones, not take a vacation, and God forbid you get sick. Okay? And I still got a job at home because I'm a mother. Because let's not forget, I don't get a day off. And I got to figure all that out. How are we going to eat? How are we going to pay rent? How are we going to pay the utility bills? That every single thing went up after COVID. Not one thing stayed the same. And neither party ever talks about what is really going on in this world. Because I'm not even going to say the country. What is really going on in this world? There is no scarcity. It is how do we pit people against each other so they're too distracted to see everything that I'm too addicted to consuming and how much profit I'm making and more profit. How many more houses one individual can have? How many yachts can one individual have? And you're going to arrest me now that I make a tent city? So if I take the scraps from the trash and make some kind of shelter for me and my children, whatever. I am a human being first. With what conscience are you criminalizing poverty? And it's not going to stop just in the United States. The poor of the world, not just this country, are fed up. And let's not leave out rural communities. I live in Haines City, Polk County, Florida. Okay, but do you think that the poor in rural communities have transportation? They don't. There's absolutely not even a sidewalk to walk on because I am giving the message of stay poor, stay hidden, and die silently. Okay? If I get a job, how do I get to that job? If I even get it when I'm in a rural community. Okay? Let's not leave those folks behind. There are hundreds of thousands of people living in trailers across the United States who are paying $1,600 a month in rent for a trailer. A trailer. Can you afford $1,600 to be living in a trailer? How many jobs do you need to have? Because I personally have 2. I have seasonal jobs and I have other jobs, part-time jobs that I do. I have a girlfriend who works 3 jobs to live in a trailer.
Woo, that was a lot. Now, with that being said, let me explain. let me explain what's going on. And this is my theory, this is my truth, right? Now, if you go back to the 1980s, right? Because I frequently use my mind to think back to the 80s. The foundation of America is family and religion. So, what used to occur was that men went to work, women stayed home, and also worked, right? Husband worked, could have went either way. However, both were home during the evening hours for family time. So back in the day, there was a fabulous work life balance. Okay. Since the United States of America was built on religion and family, one of the most important ways to have family was to be together as a family. So the majority of the United States worked in the daytime, came home, had family time, dinner with the wife, the kids, sometimes mom and dad as well, right? Um, if mom and dad worked, grandma and grandpa usually kept the kids, kept the family solidified, right, going. And we went to church on Sundays. We had Saturday and Sundays off. We went to church on Sundays. That was another. That was the part. That was the religion part of it, right? So America was built on religion and family. So because I used to live in a town to where I'm telling you, shit closed at shit was closed at 5. The last diner was probably open until 6 o'clock, and then they closed and people went home, right? You could drive down the street, all the businesses were closed because people were at home with their families, right? um that's and this is from what this is the opinion that's been given to me because this is what I see. Those people who held those values, the American values of family and the work life balance, are no longer running the United States of America in its entirety, right? So just like you still had these small towns, shit closes. We at home. We dad's on the couch drinking a beer, kids on the floor playing with their toys and watching the program. The wife, she's usually sitting next to her husband. Everybody's had dinner. Now they're just congregating, having a good time, laughing, doing family time. Daughters climbing up on dad, you know, climbing on mom. They're having conversations. They're talking to the kids. They're giving them, telling them stories and different things of that nature. That probably still happens in little small towns. And when you talk about the big city, that's not happening. What we have a lot of people that have come from other countries and that have started businesses, and they could give a hoot about your family. They could give a hoot about your work life balance. They will work you until the fucking skin falls off your bones. And then once you can't work no more, replace you with somebody else. You have to understand that just because people from other countries have come here, it doesn't mean that they've come here to take on the American values. They and mind you, they're coming here as full grown adults who have suffered from dictatorships in their countries, where the countries could give a shit less about them. It's all about work, 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 produce, 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 sell, 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 sell. right? Um, be with your family when you have time. Work for us first and your family second. There is no work life balance. So we got those same people coming over here, bringing those values over here. So this is why you're working for these different companies that are not run with American values of family and work life balance. Go home. Go home with your family. Go home to the wife and kids. No, it's stay here, work overtime. Can you stay till this time? Can you work over till this time? Right? So you end up feeling like, damn, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working. But then when I get home, I have no time for myself. I have no time for my family. That is because we have people from different countries that are actively running a large portion of the United States of America. And where they come from, there is no work life balance, right? In some countries, you have people that live on the damn job. Basically, the job has provided housing. So it's to work, back to the employment housing, to sleep, maybe a little bit of leisure time for yourself, but then it's back to work. So it's like basically living on a plantation, right? Little time for you, little time for your family. You may get to go, they may get to go off on the weekends. I don't know when they're off and spend time with their families, but the majority of the time they're on the plantation working. So we're feeling we don't feel like Americans because we have people in the United States of America who have not taken on the American way. They have brought their ways over here and they have pushed them off on us. And mind you, hey, what is it? Land of the free, home of the brave, that people can come here and do whatever the hell it is they want to do. It is you that has to have some control over your life. And it is you that has to say, no, I won't be staying over. I will be going home to my family. No, I won't be working my days off. I will be spending that time with my family. I will be doing some me time. I will be doing some family time. I will be doing some much needed cleaning time in my own home. I will be working in my own home on my days off. No, I'm sorry, I cannot stay and work over because I need to go home and work, right? You have some time from me, and then my home gets some time from me. You don't get all the time from me. You don't get my home. Okay, it's not fair. But you have to be the one to say that. You have to be the one that sets boundaries for yourself that you do not cross. Okay. So you have these 24-hour businesses. You have these businesses that, want you to work overtime, want you to work your days off because they're not concerned with that work life balance. They're concerned about you producing for them. Whereas Americans, we're like, oh, hell no, it's time to close this shit down. I got to get home to my family. Turn the stove off, clean the counters off, put the chairs on top of the table, mop the floors, and let's get the fuck out of here. We're going home. Matter of fact, you better go home. I better not catch you at the bar. You better be at home with your family. That's not what's happening. This is why we don't feel like Americans. You're supposed to be able to and then go home and enjoy the home that you're working to pay for. If you look at some of these countries, like a lot of the dictatorships, you know where they are if you don't look them up. A lot of these countries, they have the rich and they have the poor, and there's no in between. There's rich and there's poor, and there's no in between. And don't you kind of feel like that's where the United States is pretty much headed? I mean, you have fully functioning adults who can't get a job or who can't get a full-time job, to where you have to work two and three jobs just to bring in one full income. That's not how it used to be. See, we are the United States of America is congested with people from other countries. So therefore, there's no room for a work-life balance. You know why? Because the American people are in competition with people from other countries. So there is no your child goes and get at 16 goes and gets a summer job and learn some work ethics and learn how to take direction from an employer. And by the time he becomes an adult, he's fully with it and he knows that, hey, there's a boss and there's someone that you have to take orders from. So right now we're leaning towards rich and poor, and those struggling not to be poor. That's our middle class. The middle class right now is struggling not to be poor. So, this is why Americans don't feel like Americans anymore, because the foundation of America has been toppled. It's not about morals and values, it's not about religion, it's about gains and losses. It's about bumping people out the way. It's about working and producing. So, yes, if you do not set boundaries for yourself, if you do not um, be competitive, if you do not put yourself in a position to where you can sustain yourself with one income, you're going to not have that work life balance, right? And then we have to use our time management. We have to use time management, right? We have to use time management. I mean, if you have to say, well, shit, I got to work Monday through Friday, um, or Monday through Sunday. So this is what I'll do. On Tuesday, I'll take some time for the kids. On Wednesday, I'll sleep. On Thursday, I'll take some time for me. On Friday, I'll sleep. On Saturday, I'll take some time out for the kids. On Sunday, I'll sleep. On Monday, I'll take. So it's almost like you got to distribute your time between everybody and everything, because you can't do it on a daily basis. So usually back in the day when it was a good work life balance, you were able to go to work, get off at 5, come home, spend time with the kids, do your bathroom facial cleansing routine, put your rollers in your hair and cover it with your cap and put your jammies on and go to bed. Now you ain't got time to do none of that, but you have to manage your time and you have to set those boundaries. If we want the American dream back, if we want the American values back, we're going to have to fight for them because we have a lot of people that have come from a lot of these dictatorship countries, and they're bringing that bullshit over here. So we as Americans, it's difficult for us to even start businesses because people from other countries have been given so much grace and leeway to come over here and to make money and to establish themselves and to groove in, but not on American values. They were able to sit their values right here and use them. Another person from another country, a dictatorship country, sit their values from their country right down here and use them. And then you got some places that still have the American values. They're sitting here and they're using them. So there's like a mixture of all different things going on. We don't all stand for one thing, which is American values. There's so many different value systems here to where it just depends on which one you go and work for. And so the American value system has just really been drowned out because these people coming from these dictatorship countries, they're doing things the same way it would be done in their country. I saw this one video. I'm going to try to find it. I saw this one video where this black girl, I don't know if the man was, he was Asian. I'm not going to say, I don't know if he was Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, I don't know what he was, but he was Asian. And the black girl did something wrong and he slapped the shit out of her. Where they do that at? Because we don't do that here. The American people, we don't do that. We don't put our hands on people because they do something wrong. He slapped the shit out that black girl and she didn't do nothing. That's not the American way. So what we have is we have a lot of people here that have brought their dictatorship country values over here, and that's what they're doing. That's why it's don't go home to your family, stay here and work. So you have to be very, very careful. If you have, if you hold the American value system valuable, and that's how you want to run your personal life, then you need to set your boundaries for that. But see, at the end of the day, we end up sometimes working these odds and end jobs because it's not how it used to be back in the day. You used to be able to get out of high school and find a good job, a good paying job. But it just seems like nowadays, if you didn't get in some kind of education, you're going to be working those odds and end part time jobs and those unskilled labor jobs that just, sorry, aren't paying enough. So the American way is to, hey, we have to pay Jim enough to be able to sustain his life, his wife, his kids, his home. But that person is not running the majority of the jobs. You have other people from other countries running portions of the employment world, and they want to work you for as little as they can. They don't care about your home life. They don't care about you being able to pay your bills or not. But then you also have to look at, you know, everybody has to pay somebody something. Even people that own their own homes have to pay taxes, yearly taxes, or they lose their home. Go figure. You can spend 20, 30 years paying off a home, and then after that, still have to pay yearly taxes. And if you don't pay your yearly taxes, you can lose your home. What does that say? It's really not your home. All you did was pay a bank back the money that they loaned you. So, this is why Americans don't feel Americanish, because we got a lot of different value systems here in the United States of America. And we're not all on one page where we should be. Because if you go to China, they're all on one page. If you go to Nigeria, they're all on one page. If you go to the Philippines, they're all on one page. But see, we are the land of diversity where we got so many different value systems here. And you just have to be careful. Um, and like I said, set those boundaries. So, yeah. But you know what? I wanted to look at this one last video. It wasn't something that I was planning on doing, but um I wanna just say something really quick about this one. Where's the volume? And then I'm gonna get off of here. What's really going on? Come on. So, okay, here we go. Let me share this tab instead, and we're gonna hear him.
Move their agenda forward. You all have a citywide emergency, right? The citywide emergency is me. Someone comes to town with a differing viewpoint, and you all come up with a makeshift plan to shut him down so he can't speak. I go to white school board, and the white people who know that I'm coming, they let me speak. But the black people in my own community that look like me, y'all have a black governor, a black mayor, black officers, and the guy who has a differing viewpoint can't speak in your school board meeting. You are defrauding me of my freedom of speech. This is the issue with why we have failing schools in Baltimore, because no one wants to change. Let's protect the CEO of Baltimore Public Schools, who makes $479,000 a year. The kids can't read, but she makes $500,000 a year. This is not right. This is the liberal shake and bake. This is how they move their agenda forward. You all have a citywide emergency, right? The citywide.
Okay, so I don't know what this is about. I don't know what he was going to speak about, or what he wanted to speak about. But what I did catch is that, and it's not the first time I've heard this, that there are a lot of black children in a lot of these black run states who cannot read. And there is no excuse for that because, as y'all remember, during slavery time, we were not allowed to learn how to read. And that was one of the core requirements for Black people once slavery ended. And that was to learn how to read and get your education. So I don't know where the breakdown came in. I don't know why it has all of a sudden become unimportant for Black children to learn how to read. Now, one of the things I could attribute it to is poor parenting. But when you are able to get the children away from the poor parenting and bring them to school where they're supposed to be learning, you, as an educator, is supposed to know how to get those children to learn. And damn sure you're supposed to be making sure that they learn how to read. But here's the thing. I want to change the saying from crabs in a bucket to crabs outside of the bucket. Now, when you have the old saying is crabs in a bucket, when one crab is trying to climb out, other crabs will grab at him and pull him back down. So those are crabs in a bucket. Now, what we have going on is crabs outside the bucket. So when a crab is almost climbing out of the bucket, the crabs outside of the bucket push him back inside the bucket. So what the crabs in the bucket are doing is they're trying to help each other get out. But then you have the crabs outside the bucket that are pushing the crabs back in. And so this is it kind of seems as if you it's almost like black people keeping black people down, because there should be every single effort made to make sure that these children have a good reading foundation. And if that's not what's occurring, then teachers need to be fired. But see, this is what happens when, you know, you and I'm gonna just put it out there. You know me, I like to keep it 100. I'm gonna just put it out there. This is what happens when you put young people in leadership positions who didn't learn how to follow first, who weren't properly trained, who weren't properly groomed for the positions. You just they graduate college and you just throw them into school and they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know how to get the kids to read. You know why? Because 9 times out of 10 a lot of them didn't even write their own papers. A lot of them they don't even know proper grammar themselves. A lot of them they probably halfway read themselves. And then on top of all that, you have young people in these positions and all they want to do is party. And I know because I was young once too, right? Um, but we had good leadership from older people in my field, right? So there were people who were competent and knew what they were doing. And it was okay to follow their leadership. When they said, hey, you write this order like this, you knew they were telling you how to write this order. When they were telling you the right way to do things, you could trust them and you could follow them. Nowadays, what we have is we have people, I would just say, practicing outside of their scope, trying to and having poor leadership. So that's what that is. There should be no reason that a black child doesn't know how to read unless they have some type of uh, problem. And you can't tell me that all the kids in Baltimore have a problem. And if you say that, then there should be a massive amount of interventions in place to solve them. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that, because like I said, the children are required to be at school, and the teacher should be. Since the children are required to be at school, the teacher should be required to produce some children that know how to read. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go to bed. Um, feel free to watch the video, leave your comments, say what you want. Um, but just know I comment back. Good night, y'all.